Close your eyes, feel the smoke between the legs. No right, just breath and skin tonight. The room is slow, the air is warm. Your shadow moves, it breaks the norm. Velvet echoes in my chest, your voice a pulse beneath my dress. Eyes that linger, touch that stays. We move in waves, we drift, we sway. No words, just meaning in the dark. Desire blooms, a glowing spark. The bass is breathing soft and deep. You pull me closer while I sleep. My mind dissolves, the time is gone. Your rhythm, mine, we melt as one. Whisper slow, don't let it fade. This smoky heat we've gently made. Your breath on mine, electric fire. A secret kiss, my one desire. Whisper slow, just let it be. This night's our silent melody. No sound, no fear, no end, no start. Just heartbeats sinking, burning heart. The lights collapse in shades of red. Your fingers write what's never said. Every sigh becomes the beat. Our bodies speak where words retreat. Mirror haze, your lips collide. Echoes bloom from deep inside. The night's alive, and we're the flame. Two souls without a name. Stay right here. The smoke around us disappears. The sound is pure, the world is gone. Your breath carries on. Whisper slow, don't let it fade. This smoky heat we've gently made. Your breath on mine, electric fire. A secret kiss, my one desire. Just stay till the night forgets our names. Only silence, only flame. Where I go when the room fills up is a particular interior place. Not a physical, the cup and saucer place. The space inside the self that stays available. Where I go, only I know. The interior address below. Where I go, dark and clear. The interior version of here. Where I go, cold and wide. The destination deep inside. When the exterior demands too much, that's complete. Where I go, still there. While this is happening, always partially there. The dual residency of the interior. The empty seat beside me on the late train home is mine by the proximity of the particular zone of space I hold around myself. The empty seat, mine tonight. The empty seat feels right. The empty seat, dark and wide. The empty seat, step beside. The empty seat, mine tonight. The empty seat feels right. The empty seat, dark and wide. The empty seat, step beside. Most people look for the empty seat to fill it. I look for the empty to keep it. The particular feat of the always having plenty of the space beside me. The empty seat, mine tonight. The empty seat feels right. The empty seat, dark and wide. The empty seat, step beside. The empty seat, still empty. Late train, last carriage, mine. I live inside an echo room some evenings where every thought returns to me. Not louder, just with different meanings. In its second coming, set more free. Echo room, hear it twice. The second time is always nice. Echo room, soft return. Something every echo learns. The things I think at 2 in the morning come back softer by the 4, without the urgency and warning they had on their first tour. Echo room, hear it twice. The second time is always nice. Echo room, soft return. come around again. The second version is usually the kinder one. Echo and echo, softer every time. I've been holding my breath for something, not sure what the something is. A change, a word, a quiet becoming, or just the end of all of this. The held breath, waiting still, something gathering its will. The held breath, suspended time, everything paused before its prime. The held breath, mine alone. The quiet before the known. There's a moment just before exhale, when everything is possible and held, when the world could dip in any tale, when nothing yet has been compelled. The held breath, waiting still, something gathering its will. The held breath, suspended time, truest version of the toll. Glass half dark and real, the transparent version of the feel. Glass half cold and white, the honest glass of the inside. No distortion, no tint, no flattering, and no hint of anything but what is there. Glass self, that's the real. Occasion of the actual. Of what I know myself to be. Glass cell clear and cold, the truest version of the toll. Glass cell dark and real, the transparent version of the feel. Glass cell cold and white, the honest glass of the inside. No distortion and no tint, no flattering and no hint of anything but what is there. Glass self, that's the rare. Glass self, that's the rare. Occasion of the actual. Only visible to me at this hour, and this light, the clearest I ever get. Said you'd stay forever. You just stayed a little long, and I was good at almost never getting used to feeling wrong. Almost yours in the dark, almost real, almost art. You were close enough to touch. Almost everything, almost too much. particular quiet of this apartment, at this particular hour, is its own distinct apartment in the taxonomy of the power of silence, specifically this one. Particular quiet, unlow. The most specific of the known. The particular quiet, dark and clear. The most specific quiet here. The particular quiet, cold and white. The unique silence of inside. Not the general quiet, but the one that belongs to this room, this hour, this particular sunless and specific gloom of this particular night. I've developed the ability to hear the particular quiet, its specific audibility in the midst of any riot of noise. This one's mine. The particular quiet, mine alone. The most specific of the known. The particular quiet, dark and clear. The most specific quiet here. The particular quiet, quiet and white. The unique silence of inside. Not the general quiet, but the one that belongs to this room, this hour, this particular sunless and specific gloom of this particular night. Particular, irreproducible, specific to this room, this hour. The soft hours ask for very little, just your presence and your breath. No riddle in the middle, no postponement of the rest. The soft hours, yours and mine. used to rush through soft hours, treating them as transition. Now I give them all my powers, my full and patient attention. Soft hours, yours and mine, right before the morning line. The soft hours, warm and slow, the best part of the letting go. The soft hours won't last, they never do. But while they're here, they're everything. The softest hours right now. Don't waste them. Fog index of the city night, measured in how much the neon blurs. At what point does the amber light become the orange that occurs only in the thickest fog? Fog index mine to read, the only forecast that I need. Fog index, dark and white, the city turning soft inside. Fog index, cold and real, the most obscure but honest feel of what the city actually is when the fog makes it hiss and blur and soften into gray. Fog index, that's the day. I prefer a high fog index, the city at its most uncertain. The edges losing their context behind the weather's pitchier curtain of honest obscurity. Fog index mine to read, the only forecast that I need. The soft evidence of you still here. A cup left at the wrong side. A habit I kept without clear reason after you untied. Small proofs of what was real, the kind that only I can feel. Soft evidence, quiet signs, yours between spaces, mine. Soft evidence, still and true. The ordinary left by you. I haven't moved the chair you liked, or changed the lamp above the bed. These small things keep what might have spiked into grief more soft instead. Small proofs of what was real, the kind that only I can feel. Soft evidence, quiet signs, yours between the spaces, mine. Soft evidence, still and true. The ordinary left by you. A cup in the wrong place, that's love too. Late reader of the city's text, the footnotes and the marginalia of the street. What comes next in the particular regalia of the late night urban sentence? Late reader, mine alone. The city as the only known text worth reading. Late reader, dark and clear, reading everything that's here. Late reader, cold and wide, reading the city from inside. The window, all the sentences the city writes in its fences. Voluntary darkness at the end of the day that asked for brightness, the particular dividend of the dark, the rightness of the chosen dim. Voluntary darkness mine, voluntary darkness fine. Voluntary darkness, dark and wide. Voluntary darkness. Step inside. Voluntary Step inside. Voluntary darkness. The switch went left on purpose. The best decision of the day. Your warmth comes from nowhere, I guess. Just a temperature room gauge. When you went soft and glorious, without announcement or resistance. You're warm, all I need. You're warm, soft and free. You're warm, real and wide. You're warm, step inside. I notice when it leaves the room, the few degrees it drop and shift. The quiet kind of gentle gloom before you come back like a gift. You're warm, all I need. You're warm, soft and free. You're warm, real and wide. You're warm, step inside. 2 degrees warmer when you're here. best kind. Tuesday rain on nobody's window. The week is barely half alive. I'll make my coffee, watch it linger, and let the ordinary thrive. Tuesday rain, unremarkable, just water on the window glass. Tuesday rain, unstoppable, like everything that comes to pass. There's mercy in the midweek rain, and having no particular reason to feel the weight of what remains between the start and end of season. Tuesday rain, unremarkable, just water on the window glass. Tuesday rain, unstoppable, like everything that comes to pass. Not dramatic, not a sign, just rain on a Tuesday, which is perfectly fine. Tuesday rain, falling without meaning, that's enough. I've been carrying the weight of nothing, mistaken empty for a load, treating silence like it's something heavy on the midnight road. Put it down, it was never there. All that weight was only air. Weight of nothing, let it fall. It was barely there at all. Weight of nothing, open hands, finally starting to understand. The things I feared would break me clean were lighter than